You guys, I'm running in this intro because today's video is so exciting I can't even stand still. We are going towards the horse market, or I guess it's called the vintage barn now. Anyway, I kind of just... Maybe I should have explained what I was gonna do today, so how about I do that now? Because we just got here. So first of all, today is gonna be all about Friesian horses. I kind of want to do a review on all the Friesian horses in the game from Gen 1 until Gen 3, because that's what we have in the game right now. But as we all know, or I guess we all know, I'm sure you guys are aware of it, but the Friesian is getting an update, which I'm not sure what it means exactly, if it's gonna be like Gen 3.5, if it's gonna be Gen 4, like maybe it's the start of Gen 4, I don't know. But it's pretty exciting, and because of that, I wanted to do, first of all, a review on all the Friesian horses that we've received so far during the years. What did I want to say? I completely forgot. So the way that I want to structure this video is, I kind of want to do sort of a review on all the Friesian horses that are in the game right now, which is these Gen 1 Friesians, the Gen 2 and the Gen 3. And since maybe Gen 4, Gen 3.5 is coming to the game later this year, I thought that I would try to predict what that horse is going to look like. And for that, I've actually been working a lot on my own, secretly. I only teased it a little bit on my Instagram, so you guys have no idea what I've been up to. And, well, oh my god, I don't even know what to say about it. It was sort of a nightmare. It was a lot, but I'm gonna tell you about it, guys, when we get there. First of all, we are here to buy a horse, preferably one of these, the Gen 1 Friesians, because they will leave the game soon. In March, they will leave and they will never come back. So I thought I would get one just to be able to compare it to the, well, first of all, the Gen 3 and then to the Gen 4 Friesian that will come out later this year. Now, I have to say, because I joined this game kind of recently, I started playing like 3 years ago. I obviously wasn't around when these horses came out, and I know that a lot of people love them a lot because they were around when they came out. But to me, there is no feeling attached to these horses. There's no nostalgia, and there's no, good memories. So really, all I'm seeing is a very old, outdated looking horse. I know that back then this was a huge thing. I just wasn't around to witness it, so to me it's not as special as it is to a lot of people. But I understand, and I mean, they do have their charm. I kind of see what other people see. Cute! They are lovely in their own way. And I feel like it's worth having an old horse like this, because when you put it next to a new horse, you can see how far the game has come, which I think is incredible, and I love seeing that. Oh, what I noticed is that this horse is very skinny, like this waist. Man, looking at this horse and seeing how far the game has come, I'm just so excited to see the new Friesians, because I'm sure that the people at Star Stable will do an incredible job at it, and I can't wait to put that new Friesian next to this one and see the differences. Let's personalize and buy, actually. A green spot? No! I would never, don't worry, I'm not gonna name you anything green. I was thinking I could name this one Old Memory. Sort of because, well, the old, obviously, it's because it's old. But the memory is because, it's gonna be a memory of what the game used to look like. I was thinking he could be Obsidian's grandpa, so how about that? Why am I nervous? I mean, I know why I'm nervous. That's because I'm about to show you guys something that, there's a lot of pressure, but you will see it when we get there. Anyway, let's buy this horse. Yes. Oh, it's a little close. That's alright. Oh, that's big money. Alright, well, that's done. Let's go home and see him. I might be crazy, but wasn't this bucket red before? No, it wasn't. I'm probably going crazy. Why do I think that everything was red at some point? Same with the wheelbarrows. I just can't stop thinking about red wheelbarrows. Oh, hey there. Again, a little bit too close, but that's okay. You know, they are kind of pretty. I like their faces. And here we are. I really don't mind the trot. Dare I say I like it? I dare. Yeah, even this is like pretty okay. You know, it hits different when you ride one. And I mean, for how old they are pretty detailed. I can see why people love them so much. I mean, they are cute. You know what? I'm just going to say it. Gen 1 Friesian has a better rear animation than Gen 3. It's just nice. Like this is a very nice pose. Very easy to take a really nice picture of this. Oh. Alright. Oh my god, 3! Oh, that's a bush. Okay, you know what? That is the... but that's the good angle. Okay, well, as I was saying, this is a very beautiful pose. Very easy to take a good picture of this. Okay, I didn't think I would be this impressed by an old horse. I'm a little bit surprised by how, you know, happy I am with this purchase. Quite honestly, that rear is amazing. Look at this pose. You can probably tell by the way I talk that I'm genuinely impressed and kind of surprised. You know what? It's growing on me. I really like this horse. What? It's been 2 minutes and I'm literally in love. What the hell? Okay. Dude, can you move? I'm trying to explain something to the people. Okay, there we go. Like, compared to how realistic the horses are in Star Stable now, obviously, this is far too stylized. The style has changed a lot. But I can see what people see in them. It's charming, it's cute, kind of handsome in his own way, you know. Obviously, I still prefer the newer, more realistic style, but yeah, I can see what people see. And but maybe I should have looked at where I was going, you know. I can't be the only one. Do you guys ever just ride the horse like this and then bump into literally everything? That stop had like a big mane animation. Yeah. Okay, another thing that I just feel like I have to say. This is also better than what the Gen 3 Friesian has. Honestly, these are good. However, now that we got our Gen 1 Friesian, I think it's time for us to talk about the Gen 4 Friesian, because I have something that I need to show you guys. Don't worry, it's not a spoiler. I don't know if you saw, but a couple days ago, actually I think it was on the 29th of February, it was a Thursday, I put a story on my Instagram asking you guys about what you think the Gen 4 or 3.5 Friesian should look like. I said I really wanted to know you guys' opinion, and I had a very good reason for that, and you guys did not disappoint. I got a lot of messages describing a variety of things that you guys would want to be improved or you would want to appear in this game. I collected those. I think I screenshotted maybe not all of them, but most of them, or at least as many as I could, and I really wanted to do something based on what you guys were saying. And some of you DM'd me asking me if I would draw it. And honestly, that was the original idea. However, as I was preparing for this video, I realized that a drawing simply just wouldn't do it. Like, you know, it's a 3D horse, it's a video game. A drawing just wouldn't be the same as a horse in-game. Animation and modeling and rigging and all the things that go into making a 3D horse are just so much more and so different from a simple drawing that I thought drawing a Gen 4 Friesian simply wouldn't do it. It's not enough. You know what I mean? Hello. Hi. Alright. So I collected a bunch of responses from you guys, and I thought that I would try to create something based on those to sort of try and predict what the Gen 4 Friesian would look like. These responses weren't exactly easy to work with. They were very different. For example, there were people who wanted more colors, and there were people who wanted black horses only, or like mostly black and maybe a color or two. But I still tried to go for what most people said, and based on these responses, I would say that all of you guys, at least all of you who answered my story, all of you guys would agree that we need a Friesian which is truly like a pure black, deep black, beautiful, shiny Friesian. A bunch of you pointed out that you wanted a very shiny coat on the Friesians. Another thing that a lot of people said had to do something with the mane. I know that a lot of people weren't happy with the mane of the Gen 3 Friesian because they said that it was too stiff. The entire mane was in 3 big chunks that moved separately, and that bothered a lot of people, which, I mean, I can see why that would be bothering, but at the same time, it's so hard to animate a mane this long, and you're gonna understand why I'm saying this. So, a lot of you said that you wanted a better mane. You guys also said it should be tall, muscular, elegant. And actually multiple of you pointed out that it shouldn't be as goofy. To be honest, I really love that the Gen 3 Friesians are so goofy. They do all those silly little things, which I think gives so much character to them, so much personality. But at the same time, I kind of understand that you want like a serious, beautiful dressage horse. So I get what you mean. Multiple of you also said that you wanted something a little more realistic. One of you, for example, said that you wanted smaller eyes because the quote-unquote Barbie horse eyes are not it, basically. Some of you guys also pointed out that you wanted more feathering on the legs, which I absolutely agree with, even though I know that they made the Friesians the way they did to be able to put leg wraps on them, but I feel like the new Friesians would definitely have this, the same that they did with the Arden horse, where they just kind of remove or squish down the feathering on the legs when they wear leg wraps. So even with floofy legs, they are able to wear everything. And also a lot of you said that it should have a beautiful, smooth animation and nice gaits, which is great, and I agree, but I definitely weren't able to deliver on that, so sorry in advance. Anyway, the point is, based on all of these responses and based on all of the things that you guys all seemed to agree on, I tried to create something that I think would kind of fit those requirements, except, you know, I'm not a professional, I have no idea what I'm doing, I kind of haven't done this before. I don't know what you guys will think. Just keep in mind that I had no idea what I was doing when I was working on this. And I will talk about it more in just a minute, but with all of this being said, I think it's best if I reveal right now what I've been working on, so I guess let's see that. Alright, so I guess that was it. But I have a lot of things to say about this. First of all, there are a lot of mistakes. Obviously, this is not done. It's like almost not even started. And it's something that I actually haven't even done before, really. I mean, I've made an animated short movie before as my diploma work at university, which was very different from this. I did 3D modeling and animation in that little movie, but those were a lot more simple, the movements were smaller. The emphasis in that movie was on the story, not really the animation or the movement. So this is sort of my first attempt at this, and I can tell that this is terrible. Like, you know, thank the Lord that this is not in the game. I did this within 6 days from scratch, by the way. Like, I didn't have a pre-downloaded, I don't know, horse model or anything. I did this from absolute zero until this point within 6 days. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. The pressure is to be honest, this was a huge passion project for me. I really had no reason to make this other than I really wanted to. I just felt like it because I'm so excited about the Gen 4 Friesians that I kind of just wanted to predict it. I wanted to have something that I will be able to compare it to, which I'm not saying that this is what it should look like, because I'm like 1000% sure that the artists at Star Stable will do a job that is just about 1,000,000 times better than this. I mean, obviously, I have no idea what I'm doing. I swear, if you were to put this in the game, it would probably explode. But not just the game, the Earth would explode, really. This is not a functioning horse. It's actually terrible, to be honest. And I had to work so much on it. But without wasting any more time, how about we move on to the prediction section of this video? In fact, how about I open the Blender file and I just show you guys what I did. Alright, so here we are in Blender, and the first thing I want to show you is actually on the legs. So as I was saying before, some of you guys pointed out that you wanted more leg floof. I just like to call it leg floof, alright? And I think at this point it would be completely possible to make animated feathering or leg floof on the Friesians, which I kind of sort of tried to do on this model. Also, please don't mind the fact that I forgot to paint the texture on the inner side of the legs. Please, can we just pretend that it's there? I forgot and now it's too late. Yeah, sorry, I told you I'm not a professional. I have no idea what I'm doing. Back to the leg floof. So I don't know if you can tell, maybe if I move it very slowly. The feathering, there are these tiny little sections, and I tried to animate them individually. And quite honestly, this moving leg floof was something that I really hoped the new Shires would have, and they didn't. So I'm really, really hoping that the new Friesians would. So yeah, my number one prediction will be, I think, that there would be animated feathering leg floof on the legs of the new Friesian. That might be a little too much to ask for, but I'm just gonna say that I predict that they will have some of these. Alright, moving on to prediction number 2. You guys pointed out that you really didn't like the mane on the Gen 3 Friesians, and I thought that I would try to have a bunch of little segments instead of just 3 big ones, which at this point I don't know if I dare to predict this or not. I have to be honest, this was a pain in somewhere, you know. It was so much work having to animate all of these little pieces of mane individually, and it still doesn't look good. Like if you watch it, it's still kind of stiff, like it doesn't seem like it moves enough, but it also moves too much, if that makes sense. Like it feels too heavy. It feels like it's made out of chains and not hair. So I can see that I didn't do a good job at it, but to be honest, within 6 days I couldn't do anything better. So this is what we have right now. Which, I mean, I might finish it, I might improve this, but I really wanted this video and this horse to be out before the original, the real Gen 4 Friesian comes out, because to be honest, if I saw a teaser or a spoiler or anything of the Gen 4 Friesian, after that I would, even if I didn't try, I would subconsciously try to copy it and try to make mine look like that. And I really didn't want to be influenced. I wanted to see what I could do on my own without seeing anything original, I guess. So yeah, let's just imagine that the movement of the mane is better. This is how I imagine they could do it, you know, just a bunch of smaller pieces, not 3 big ones. And I feel like they would do the same with the tail. A lot of the horses that they release now have these tails that are a bunch of like smaller pieces animated individually, and it looks beautiful. So I'm 100% sure that they will do something like that with the Friesian too, which, please bear with me, I have overdone this on this model. When this horse is just standing regularly, like an idle standing position, this tail looks so normal, like it seems like it would be the right size, but when it gallops, like during the animation, it looks so big. I don't really understand how or why I made the tail so big and long. So you know, let's just look past that. Let's just pretend that it's the right size. I also did the tail similar to the mane. As you can see, it's a bunch of separate little pieces that I animated. That was so much work, having to individually move every little piece of tail. It was a lot of work. And I don't know if it was worth it. Like, you guys, it is so much work and it doesn't even look good. Animation, especially animating flowing hair, or like a horse's tail and mane, is an insane amount of work, and it's so hard to get it right and to get it realistic. Borderline impossible. Like, I obviously couldn't do it, and I spent so much time. I think I had 6 days for it, but I didn't work on it at all on Sunday, meaning I think I was done with the modeling and rigging in the first 2 days, and then the rest of my time I had to spend with the textures, which, oh my god, the textures are just a whole another... Let me show you, because first of all, I obviously forgot to finish it on the inner side of the legs, but clearly I had to rush it, you know, I had to be done with this quickly. So you can see stuff like this, and to be completely honest with you guys, I didn't even have like a reference image. To be quite frank with you, you know, this is how I work. I just didn't look at a reference picture. I kind of just drew on horse shine however I wanted to, because that's how I enjoy drawing, so I kind of had to, you know, put my own personality and everything into it. But yes, back to the textures. If we zoom in, you can see that it's just random brush strokes. It's very much rushed, definitely not done. It's not very detailed. It only looks alright, I guess, if you really zoom out and kind of squint your eyes and you pretend that it looks good. Up close, it's pretty terrible and rushed, as I said, but yeah. Also, I clearly don't really know how texture painting works, because I have absolutely no clue what happened here. I don't know what this is. It was just a mistake that I had to live with. I couldn't fix it. The same thing happened here. I just couldn't figure out what I did wrong to end up with this result. It's very ugly, and it's definitely something that I would pick up on if I saw it in the game. This horse also can't blink yet. It can open its mouth, but it doesn't have teeth, so I just keep it closed. But I try to do as much as possible. I really was trying to do my best. In the animation, the ears also don't move, but they are absolutely able to move. They have the bones in them, so I can move the ears however I want to, and it isn't even that bad looking when I do. It's not great, by all means, don't get me wrong, it doesn't look good, but I've seen worse. I also noticed that I forgot to add textures to some of these things, so let's just look past that. Alright, now it's too late. I also see that I did something terribly wrong here. It's a little broken, but hey, aren't we all? There is also some mystery happening up here. I really have no idea what this is. But you know, I tried my best. And I guess you could be asking, hey Benedicta, if you are not a professional, if you know absolutely nothing about horses, especially Friesians, if you have no idea how to make a video game or a 3D horse, if you have no idea how to animate or make a texture for a 3D model, why did you think that you should be doing this? Honestly, no clue. I do not have a better reason other than I felt like it. Do you know that very relatable feeling when you're super excited about a horse that will be released in Star Stable, so you can't really wait for it to come out, so you just make it? Yeah. This was just a big but very rushed passion project. And honestly, I was just very curious of how close I could get if I tried to predict what they would look like when they come into the game. Obviously, I'm not trying to predict the quote-unquote mistakes here. Like, I'm not saying, oh, I bet the Gen 4 Friesians will have an unfinished texture, like they just won't have anything on the inner side of their legs. That's not what I'm saying. And also, I'm not saying that, oh, I bet that their mane will be made out of chains and it will look super bad and heavy. That's not at all what I'm saying. You have to kind of imagine that the animations on this one are nice. In order to see what I see. The rear, and well, not animation but pose. I was gonna make this another big prediction of mine, but then I changed my mind because wow, this was painful to make. So I'm really not saying that this is a prediction of mine anymore. In the beginning, I really wanted to say that maybe they could use all that big, huge, floofy mane to make this pose where all the mane goes back and creates this very epic pose. A rearing horse is just such an obvious thing to take a picture of in Star Stable, and sadly, I have to say the rearing animation of the Gen 3 is just not it. It's very hard to take a nice picture of. So I would say a big prediction of mine is that they will have a very nice rearing animation. However, I don't dare to say that the mane will act like this, because to be frank, I can't even imagine how hard it must be to animate a mane like this, to do this sort of pose or this animation, because let me tell you, just posing it, just having one still image, one pose of it, was incredibly hard. And by the way, it only looks acceptable from this one angle. If I turn it a little bit, you will see that, yeah, well, the mesh is freaking out. It's terrible. Again, I don't know how much of a prediction it is, but I expect these horses to be super shiny, so I tried to go for like a very, very shiny deep black coat. And, well, I mean, you know, it looks shiny. I did a job. I'm not saying I did a great job, but I did a job. I also know that the textures on the tail and the mane are terrible. If we zoom in on it, you know, it's just an absolute nightmare to look at, but we don't have to talk about it. We don't have to zoom in on it. We can just stay here and, you know, not see all of that. But yeah, anyway, so these were my predictions on what I think the Gen 4 Friesians will look like. I don't know if I will be right. I don't know if any of those predictions will make it into the game. But this is what I think could happen, potentially. For now, I'm obviously not happy with it. It's not done, and I'm not good at it. I had very little time, and I obviously wouldn't be happy with it if this horse appeared in the game, because it's just not up to standards. It's definitely not reaching the standards that we have right now in the game with all the other beautiful horses. But really, I just try to collect all of you guys' opinions and try to make something based on that. So, you know, I had a lot of fun doing it, and I hope that you found it interesting. I guess the only Friesian we haven't really looked at yet is the Gen 2 Friesian. So why don't we hop back into the game and take a look at them? Alright, we are back in the game, and we just got back to the vintage barn to look at the ES. What's up? Does it? I don't know. I should definitely call the vet for other reasons. That's not full. Alright, so it's several hours later and we are once again back at the vintage barn, because previously I had to stop recording abruptly because I was so tired. Guys, I forgot to mention completely. If I sounded very tired in my video previously, that's because I was. Because I just got no sleep last night at all. I went to bed at midnight, I woke up at 2 a.m. for some reason, and I just couldn't fall back asleep. And earlier I just had to stop recording because I was so tired, and I also had to do some other life stuff. So I'm back. It's not interesting. The point is that I'm back to look at the Gen 2 Friesian once again. You're pretty. Anyway, I felt the need to come back here because I feel like I have to own every Friesian generation. I have to own at least one of each generation. And since I bought the Gen 1 earlier today, and I already had the Gen 3, I decided to come back and get this one too. Since the Gen 4 is coming out, I just feel like I have to collect them all, alright? I'm really gonna have to chill with buying horses because I've been buying a lot of horses lately. I have to calm down. But at the same time, I really want this. I want to be able to put them next to each other and see the evolution that the Friesian horse went through. Yeah, I decided that I need Gen 2 as well. So let's look for a name for this beauty and buy Is this a mare? For some reason this one is giving fancy lady. Oh. Okay, since I named the Gen 1 Old Memory, for some reason I really like the name Melody, but could it be Old Melody? To me that sounds like such a pretty name for some reason. Oh, it can be. Oh, I love this name so much. Okay, I think it's decided. I'm really happy with this name. Yes, let's buy Old Melody. Maybe she could be Obsidian's mom. How about we ride this horse now, so we can kind of review it as well. Oh, perfectly in sync. Aww. I can't believe this. The Gen 4 Friesian that I made within 6 days, I finished it this morning at like 6 AM or something, and I bought 2 more horses in the game today. It's been a crazy day. Yeah, you know, I can definitely see the improvement compared to the Gen 1 Friesians. And I have to say, this is a very pretty horse. For how old it is, it doesn't really... Alright, well, how about I look at where I'm going? I like how the trot is so fancy. Oh, hello. Oh, I'm sorry, I was looking at my own horse. I didn't know something was happening here. Oh, sorry. Oh, that was awkward. Oh, a little wave, and that one actually works. Let's see how this one rears. Oh, okay, I feel like the Gen 1 Friesian still has a better rear. Not the end of the world, but again, just something that's really hard to take a nice picture of, because there is so much happening in this animation that you can't really take a nice picture of it. There isn't like one good angle. So yeah, in terms of rear, my favorite is still the Gen 1. Can I spectate, or am I going to be ignored by everyone who wants to be an Arabian? Well, I think I'm gonna leave those guys alone. They probably want to just have their own fun without me being there. Whoopsies. Again, can I just look at where I'm going? Well, the fast gallop is definitely better than what I did, but oh. So many bushes. Yeah, I really like this horse. Alright. Very good. Alright guys, well this has been quite the video. I know that this was a little bit unusual and not something that I normally do on this channel, but I hope that you still liked it, and if you don't mind, please let me know what you thought about my Friesian. I really wish that I was able to just put it here somewhere, somehow. It would be so cool to see all 4 of them together. But yeah, let me know what you thought about it. But again, please keep in mind that I'm not a professional and I only had 6 days to make it. So you know, it's not that great. I know it's not great. But still, let me know what you thought. Ow, 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 stop. Anyway, sorry, I'm being distracted again. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and I really, really hope that I'm gonna see you in the next video too. Goodbye.